know we cooking up. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know we cooking up out here. We've been just rocking, man. We was just over on my channel. Then we went over to CCC TV. Shout out to CCC TV. We was over there rocking. Me, Angelica Diallo, Breeza 31 was over there rocking with us. Miss Embassy, Sister Noble came over there, rocked out with us a little bit. Dope energy. Question: is Polight'S ass really grass? That's pretty crazy. But you know, I don't know. What I do know is this. I'm waiting for my couple of people to come in. Oh, but yeah, let me put this link in this chat. But people don't get my notifications anymore because YouTube made sure that they're trying to get me out of here, y'all. I just got here and they're trying to get me out, y'all. Some real life to life bullshit, y'all. Some real bullshit. His brother Polite ass really cast. That's funny. That is funny. Let me see, because sometimes oh boy. When do I ever sleep? When do I ever sleep? He says, that's funny. Oh, see, there you go. Let me see.
If I was your girl and you were my man, I'll give you all of it. If you give me all of you.
She let me do me. Let me know all the girls around. Cause she's so used to being queen, she let them wear the crown. She got my back, she hold it down. Right by my side, never slow me down. Always pick me up whenever they throw me down. Been through the lies, got her crying now. She still believe me, and I'm lying now. She be inside, she ain't hoeing around. And she ain't got a bad name all through the town. Every day I love you more, I had to tell you now. And then I'm proving it now. Just let me show you how. Real ones, my real one. If you ever had a real one, hands up if you're a real one. This one goes out to my real ones, my real ones, real ones, my real ones. If you ever had a real one, hands up if you're a real one. This one goes out to my real ones, my real ones. She been through, her family hating, the women calling, and she still waiting.
Thinking the marriage, but she don't want to chase it. She ready when you ready. A true test of her patience. Love that you show can't replace it. My trinity in this matrix. You just a regular. Nothing about you is basic. I be out late. Plus the missed calls. She ain't eat right and can't sleep at all. The scary thing is she won't beef at all. She got this feeling in her stomach. She can't keep it off. I guess it's women's intuition. I know it's late night and I've been missing, but listen.
Baby, I'ma make an honest woman out you. I'ma get that wedding ring. I'ma show you better things. No talk, just show, no let them in. We got haters from the door.
You should set them in, my sweetheart. Like I gave you my letterman. Hope you get with this letterman. You a real one. Shout out to everybody for being a real one.
What's all got to do with it, baby?
If I was your girl,
it's never worth my man.
Make sure you're going to my Uda block and subscribing. This is me featuring Destiny Mariah. I wrote and arranged the record.
I'll give you all, I love you. What's all all got to do with it, baby. That's all got to do with it, baby. If I was you, and you were baby, I'll give you love. If you give me love you. If I was your girl.
Then the rain come in a relationship, right? Try to make you break up, right? Why give up now, right? Black love is golden, right? Shit, all love is golden, right? Real ones. Shout out to everybody that ever met a real one. Shout out to everybody ever been a real one. Sometimes people will change you, man. It's for the real ones, you know. Uda. Make sure y'all go on the Uda block on YouTube. Subscribing to my Uda block. Be a part of the block. You know, built my block just like how I built the community. And we just moving, man. Building together. Got Miss Embassy with me. She was echoing. I was echoing. Am I still? Not. What's up, Miss Embassy? How you feeling?
What? Hi, beloved.
How you doing? What's up?
Good. I want to see the other hat though.
Oh, the Bible hat.
I liked it.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Appreciate you. So, how you feeling, Queen? What's up? So,
No, I'm good. I'm an insomniac. It seems like you are too.
I am a mega insomniac. I am an insomniac. Yeah, I practiced that from years. You know what I mean? Just staying outside in the streets, being outside so long, and
It seems like we have a similar background. It's just that you're a guy and I'm a lady.
sometimes it's like that. I think a lot of times it's like that. You know, we have similar backgrounds or maybe similar things or feelings about certain things. You know, it's correlations between stuff.
Because I was in the streets too. I did very similar things.
Yeah, but by the grace of, you know, God,
By the grace of God,
Spirit,
I never got locked up for it.
That's beautiful, Queen. That's beautiful.
And what made me get out of it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's you and I just on the stream.
Yeah.
What made me get out of it is because I had to jump on somebody for my money. It was a guy who owed me some money, and he came back across me with another person, you know, looking to buy. With, you know, they had their own money, but he still hadn't paid me mine. Now, by the street regulations, of course, I had to jump on that man, and I jumped on him. And I used to carry guns back then, but I was like, this ain't for me. Like, I don't want to hurt people to make money. Like, you know, and I stopped it after that. Like, you know, that still plagues me to this day, because I hurt that man. I hurt that man real bad. I got my money, but I hurt that man real bad. And I'll never forget it. And I stopped selling drugs after that.
Mm-hmm. Boy, man, but at least you still, you know, you even think about it now. You know what I mean? Some people don't think about the things that they do in their life at all. They go their whole life thinking about what people do and all of this other shit, but they never really ever put that same focus in thinking about the things that they do to people. So to even think about that and have a thought like this now in a place where you don't even think about doing those things, it shows, you know, shows a lot too, you know.
And that's what I want to bring to the youth, and that's what I understand, and that's what I want to impact the youth, or I want to do something with the youth. Like myself and my homegirl, my best friend, we want to have a center. I'm scared to do a 501c3 now because you got to take, you know, whatever medical precautions and all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not going to say like the full thing on your platform.
Whatever you want to say. Yeah.
The jab or whatever. Like, you know, you have to take all these things in order to get a 501c going. But that's what we wanted. Like, you know, to bring in young girls and boys that went through my situation, because, like, you know, I was a young kid, and my mother was on that stuff. I was a military girl, and when my mother got introduced to it, because she was just coming home from leave from Germany, and her sister got her introduced to it. It wasn't like she wasn't even here. She was in Germany. She doing her, term in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't know how addictive it was going to be. Now she went back, and then she came back, and she ended up full-fledged sadistic. And it subsequently led her to, marry a man who had a thing for little girls. You know what I'm saying? And it ruined my life. Like it did. Like that type of thing. When you say like I feel for that girl with Polite, because that type of thing literally ruined your life. You don't look at men the same no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's just come from a first-hand person. You don't look at men the same no more. You don't want to sit in a man's lap. You look at men strange when they with little girls and things, even if they is a daddy or what the band. It's a whole mental shift. I was 11. That was my first experience with sex. So imagine me when me and my girlfriends get together. They like, oh, when your first time? And how I used to sit back and shriek in the background because I always had to remember what my first time was.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't think about those type of things. And I'm pretty sure it's not just girls. It's boys too.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bambaataa was doing a whole lot of shit with little boys. So like, and it created the culture. And people didn't like the color purple. And especially when Oprah said girl child ain't safe in the house of men's. They didn't understand what that meant, but I understood it.
Mm-hmm.
It was my stepfather in the house that my mother was married to, and how it got introduced that he was supposed to be giving me a whooping for that day.
Instead of that, that's crazy.
No, he had a belt, and he was like, I got something better, and he came back naked.
So I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm honestly so sorry to hear that, sister. For real, honestly.
It's so many girls that look like me that went through some things like that. So that's why I'm following this case very closely to see what's gonna happen. Because so many of us that went through that.
Whatever happened with him? With your
Well,
whatever happened with him?
Okay. Oh, so with the case, what happened with him?
Yeah.
He ended up having to go to court.
Okay.
But he was the provider in my household, so I eventually had to end up lying for him and say that he didn't do it. Damn. Because they found semen, and he used to make me dress up and all that kind of stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
And they eventually said that they didn't have enough evidence, but he got locked up for the next girl. It was another wife before my mother, and they just end up just disappearing, and nobody knew what happened to them. What? But like 1 + 1 = 2, and it was like, oh, he did it to her too. So my mother, when she divorced him because of this situation, and the next woman got married to him. My mother warned that woman, and he married a woman with little girls. Those type of dudes get with women with little girls. And she was like, be careful with him around your little girls. He ended up messing with the same situation. After her period, when she was 11, 12, he ended up messing with her too. But he ended up going to jail for her. Man. It took 3 times.
That's crazy.
It took 3 times for this particular dude to go to jail. And I still have to talk to him because he's my brother's father.
You still talk to him?
I didn't. I was so fucked up about fatherhood.
Yeah.
I just not really getting to really meet my father and my mother's side of the family, but I didn't want to skew their view of their father, so I just never said anything to them. about it. So like, I kept up appearances or whatever for family's sake. But yeah, I was one of the kids that had to sit across from the nigga at the Thanksgiving dinners and look at this dude who did that to me. And that's just, that goes on a lot in our community.
A lot. And people are a lot of times, aiding people, and aiding people in so many ways by covering for people, and there's a lot of things that's happening, but so this things was happening for how long was it until he was arrested? That
Well, it was happening from I was 11 to 13. The way my mother found out is because she was doing my laundry one day and she found a semen in my underwear. And she knew that wasn't natural for a girl my age, and I was so desensitized at the time. I just told her, I was like, man, your husband's just a child molester. She was like, why your panties? I was like, your husband a child molester. He been doing it for a long time. My mother was on drugs. She was a good mother. And she always had a job and everything. She was a functional addict. Like she very functional. But
It's crazy, yo.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for me.
I'm just saying the situation, you know what I mean? I have to feel sorry for that type of situation. So it's nothing that you could tell me not to feel sorry for that. I think that nobody should have to go through something like that. You know what I mean? But and also in the same breath, you know what I mean, is also how do we take that, since you feel strong enough to speak out when you say don't feel sorry for me and stuff like that, you feel a certain strength in you, but how do we take that and help some young people out here? Because both boys and girls are a victim of things too.
That's why I wanted a center, and that's why I wanted a YouTube page, so I can actually be raw. And that's why I'm so raw and forthgiving as far as like how I feel about certain things, is because I just think people lack raw feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not raw feelings even. Raw truth. I just think people want to be, sugar coated about a whole lot of things, and I wasn't for that. Because one thing, even though I went through that, I'm a military brat. My parents come from the military, both of them. So I was not allowed to make like excuses for myself or anything like that. And I think that helped me a lot, because I could my history, I could be a whole crackhead right now. Like on dope, trying to take myself away from my past hindrances and all this kind of stuff like that. I'm not. I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
Trying to, and I employ other Black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing instead. But I have every excuse in the world. I had every excuse in the world.
Yeah. But you turned it into something else. Turned it into a positive. And that's dope. That's why you should create the channel and things like that. Like, I'll help you in any way that I can. I told you that. I help everybody. I'm trying to, I wish I can help every single person, But yeah, you got your things that you want to do. You ain't got to stick in a niche. You ain't got to put yourself in a box. You know what I mean? We all got different colors that we could display. So I mean, it's got to pick a favorite color and just be one thing. It could be the whole crayon box. You know what I mean?
I was always the whole crayon box because I was always ambidextrous. I'm left and right brain.
Yeah, see what I mean?
I loved art, and I can draw my ass off. I can draw you sitting here.
That's
and
dope.
I also loved math and science at the same time. So nobody ever knew what to do with me.
That's fire. Nah, man, that's fire. That's fire. I'm intrigued by stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope. That's all dope stuff. You know what I mean? But a lot of things come with a confidence sometimes. And sometimes, it scares people. Sometimes
I didn't get my confidence until I got older, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. When I took my assessment, they said I was weird. Like I was weird since I was in the third grade. When I was in the third grade, I got tested in the top 15% of the country.
Mm.
Wasn't a statewide test.
Mm.
Some white woman came and knocked on my door and said I had to go to special classes. So I was in a program called DEF from fourth grade up until high school. The prerequisite was to play instruments. So I started playing the cello and I ended up on the French horn and I played in the marching band and all that kind of shit. While being a hood nigga, going through all this shit at the same time and making straight A's on my paper, I was a different kid. I was experimented on. I had to we had to go and I had to sit in think tanks about the um the Iraqi war. Our class. And I thought that was weird as hell. Like I was one of them think tank kids. So I can definitely speak on that. How it feel to be that. At the same time with all this other stuff too. So like, I have so many things that I did as a kid up until adult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to start.
Yeah, but now we just gotta start. You know what I mean? But I just think you just gotta go. You know what I mean? But once you have all of the, the components that you have, I just think that, like what the community is built for. You know what I mean? It's not just a place for me; it's a place for us. You know what I'm saying? So many people gonna be able to do whatever they want to do. When people really buy into the system of what this is like, there's no system. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be ordered because we can.
There is a system because I was in a think tank. There is a system
Yeah.
because
But
I was in the think
there's a
tank when I
system.
was a kid.
There's a
So when
system.
they say that it's a system, like no, I know it's a system.
Yeah, a system within a system, though. But
When we had to take tests, they sealed them up and they gave our answers to the government. Like, and we seen our shit played out. Like, when the news came on, the Desert Storm War. That's what it was, the Desert Storm shit.
yeah,
It was scary. Like, I was like, wow, did y'all just seek
systems
us out like
exist. Though. Systems exist. Systems work. Are people implying the wrong systems? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, systems are good. We need to start implementing our own systems.
that?
We need to
Exactly.
start doing our own
I
systems.
do agree.
It's not just about us throwing shade at the conscious or the unconscious community or other things in the beef sector and the sectors. To me, is what role can I play? I'm actually helping people within the beef sector, this sector, that sector, every sector. So it doesn't even matter. You know,
Right. So I know
my brothers and my sisters
I'm
when
with
I look
you.
at people. I see my brother, I see my sister when I see people. And unless you're doing some real outlandish shit, you're doing shit with kids and all type of other shit, like for a fact, that's when you start, I start separating myself from in any form of relation from you. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things we just not gonna stand on. You know what I mean? You disrespecting elderly people and all that type of shit. I can't rock with you for that type of stuff. You disrespecting babies and shit like that. People that's mentally challenged and got different kind of situations going on. Then we got issues, you know what I'm saying? Because I think as a man, especially as a black man, I think that that's my role. My role is to protect the women, the children, and the elderly and the
Oh, I
people
love
are
that.
less for themselves, like the mentally ill and certain people that's challenged within our community, even though that same love goes outside of our nationalities or our community. I might do the same thing for maybe a white person or Indian person or anybody in that situation, maybe. You see what I'm saying?
No, it does because no, I would protect a white child, whatever child.
It's a
Like
child, you know what
it's a
I'm saying?
child.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't see no color when it comes to a child.
There's no
It's
color
a
with
baby.
stuff, you know what I'm saying? So with certain things, it even transcend color. Like, does that matter? This is a baby. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter that whatever. All right, we went through slavery and all of these things happened and white people did that to us. All right, but we see a white baby right here. Do we not help him or her? Do we not aid them? You know what I'm saying? Do we be like somebody else just to prove a point? Or do we have love? You know what I'm saying? So,
No, no,
you know,
I love all people.
yeah,
That's one thing I do. I love all people. I am about my people as far as building because we do need that element to where we have to build in order to compete with the
yeah,
rest of the world,
yeah.
right? Like what I'm saying. But as far as like humanity is concerned, I'm about all people.
Hmm.
Like I don't care about racism personally.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, that's something that has to do with you, not me. I have nothing to do with that. I'm not here to wave a flag and try to make white folk like me and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not even. I see the problem differently. I just think we aren't competing, and that's why we aren't respected. Like, you know, we're not competing. We are at the bottom. We are the consumer class. So yeah, they look at us like that, and they be like, "Oh well, they do black people like that. We want to pay them." But yeah, they see you spend, and because I have a business, I have to read the Nielsen reports. The Nielsen reports is a market. You know what the Nielsen reports is, right?
I know the Nielsen report, but you can say it for whoever doesn't know it.
Okay, the Nielsen reports is a journal for marketing. Like, you know, how they market. Most companies read the Nielsen report in order to learn how to market, and they pretty much categorize and pay attention to every race, group, whomever, spending habits, all of that. That's what the Nielsen reports calculate, and they document. And they have us down to a science. We spend $1.2 billion a year. If we were a country, we would be the 16th. What they say? We would be the 16th most wealthiest country in the world if we were a country on our own. That means that we spend more than what we accumulate or build on. So we need to get that together and stop begging. We beg, and we are a beggar class. That's what to be frank, we are a beggar class. We don't own anything. Everything that we have, we get from the white man. Everything. Our sustenance, our sustainability comes from white people. Right? Am I lying?
Some people, yeah, but for us, no, yeah, you're not lying.
No, I'm talking about like your housing, your
Some way, shape, form, of fashion, in some shape, form, yeah, and yeah, in some shape, form, of fashion, it comes back down to that. So
yes, no, people are tribal, and that's what we got to get back. People are tribal, and these people don't owe us nothing. They conquered us, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? They conquered us, and what happened in the 60s? We had our own stuff, and they was like, "Oh, you want to mix in with us? Oh, we can take advantage of that," and they took advantage of it. I really don't blame them. Like, I can't blame them for not wanting us in their neighborhood, because we don't want them in our neighborhood. If we want to be frank about it, like, you know what I'm saying? If we have to really start looking at things plain with common sense, instead of all of this hoopla and one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish bullshit, and putting the eye of Kemet on it, or putting whatever the hell else on it, or oh well, you know, this is what we is. Oh, we that people. Like, no, break it down to regular common sense. That's how I feel about the community. I think we need to go back to just regular old common sense, like how the elders did when we actually had our own things.
it was a time ago when we had our own, you know, it was a little times ago.
It is a time we had our own things, but yeah, but we just too. Brother Ben X said it. He say, we intellectually masturbate. Everybody got to be right with whatever doctrine that they have. None of them are coming together, and I like all the brothers. The Kemet brothers, I like them. Some of them, the Israelites, and you know, these brothers over there, these brothers over here. But what are they actually doing?
Everybody,
Dr. Claude Anderson said,
you know, everybody out here trying to build an army. You got to build one too. Everybody got to build something. You know? and that's what's going on. You know, you can say
What
whatever.
army do we have?
They be
What
outside all
army?
day. The Israelites be outside, uptown, everywhere. People be outside.
It seems like they be shot. They shouting at white people. What are they? They
White people. I just seen them a couple days ago doing that. But I'm just saying, at least they was outside though. They be outside with it though. They ain't be behind the screens. They be outside talking, getting people to come into whatever they believe in.
What is talking doing?
They be talking to some people, but they be getting at some people though. White people, I've seen them getting at white people. Like
We
white
gotta stop talking. We talk a lot, and we talk too much, and we talking and ain't doing nothing.
it come with action too. You know what I mean? It does.
That's
but
that's what I'm.
gotta
The
get-
brother being X. What it seemed like the brothers over there on the Muslim side, the NOI, it seemed like they're doing something because they actually own a whole lot of land.
But they got funding and different things like that happen.
Huh?
They received fundings and different things like that happened with those types of groups.
And that's what they did with their funding and not taking donations and not doing nothing and screaming in the street. They actually took the funding and went and bought land with it.
I get that, but so I'm not against Islam or nothing like that. But a lot of people would differ when you talk about some stuff like that. They may differ, and it would be black people too that would differ with that. So, it's just
but we gotta get out of like saying like, oh, well, I'm not Islamic. I'm not Islamic.
But that comes with that. Yeah, that's what comes with the religious type of stuff. But sometimes I don't. Religious fix. You know what I mean? But like as another person was saying, like adopting some of the things that Muslims and Islamic thing, not by adopting the way of life. I had a brother was on here talking to me about it, and he was like a certain thing that you could just adopt that can help you. You know what I mean? Like finances and all types of little different things like that. And
one thing that Ben X brother said on Kwame channel, he said, we can't afford to argue about doctrine right now because we behind. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I agree with a whole lot of these brothers' doctrine. I agree with some of the Israelite brothers and some of the Muslim brothers and some of the Christian brothers and some of, like, you know what I'm saying? We all black people at the end of the day. What are we arguing about when we up under this and we trying to get somewhere? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I actually agree more with what this brother is doing versus like, what we debating about. What are we debating about? And where is it going? It's no action behind it. That's my thing.
That's good.
Where is this shit going?
That's the point. Some people don't want action because if action happens, then the whole hustle is gone. You see? That's why. So the shit got to be a reoccurring cycle of the same old shit. So nobody progresses and nobody proceeds. So it's the same concept. So black people are coming in trying to push religious concepts, but they're really pushing concepts like European people because no one is progressing. So once you come in and got all these people and you're progressing off of the people, but the people are not progressing, you become the same oppressor as the people that you're trying to unlock their minds from.
Yeah, it seems like some people want to come in here and replace the oppressor. You're right.
So that's the whole thing that thing is. So these people that's in the community need to look at themselves and see that. But they know that some people don't because they're fully narcissistic to the point that they don't even care about, they don't even watch the things they say anymore. So they're already at a point where they feel gratified and glorified in who they are or what they are or what they've built, that they don't understand that people and kings have built kingdoms and they have fell. Castles have fell. So whatever these things that they think they built, these platforms and all these stuff, they act like things are forever. People need to understand that they need to take some of their actions into considerations. Like for real. You know what I mean? Like, because the same way you can have that shit will be taken away.
The righteous people need to look at them niggas.
Yeah. So
like, we need to look, watch, and be silent on them niggas and cut their ass off. That's what I think, because they aren't for the community. Like, you know what I'm saying? All this hoopla back and forth arguing about which God is who and whatever the fuck. don't nobody care. One whole thing is God, and they all preach the same message for the most part. They preach the same message. Do unto others of what you have, do unto you. That's basically what all of them, Buddhism, Christian, Muslim, whoever, they have all the same principles. They do. But we caught up on stupid shit as black people, as far as like, no, you are so and so, and so y'all can't think about you and woo what the bam. It's ridiculousness. It's unorganized and it's ridiculousness. So I'm like, what is this house of consciousness? What is it? What is it really? And can't nobody ever define it for me when I ask that question.
It's crazy.
Because I'm gonna ask you a question. Because me personally, what you do for the community, I hire black people, nigga.
That's a fact. And some people are not doing that. So, you know what I mean? But then people will tell you about some other shit and about when they not doing that. You see what I'm talking about? And then be that, instead of getting behind you, figuring out what it is that you doing, try to start working together, figure out like maybe I could do something like that, maybe in my city or something like that. You know what I mean? So just helping somebody can go far. But people rather tear that down instead of helping it build up. So we do got to help each other to build up. You know what I mean? I am going to do some research in Brother Ben. And, you know what I mean? Because I've been hearing about Brother Ben X for a while, though. You know what I mean? I know some stuff. I mean, more history of understanding him, his message, and where he's from. And
he just collaborated with the brother Kwame
yeah,
Brown.
I seen it. It passed by. I follow Kwame, so I seen it pass by, but I just never got a chance to watch it.
No, that was a powerful live stream. So he explained himself.
I'm gonna go back and watch it.
I always liked them brothers, the NOI. It's because they were so disciplined and things of that nature. It's probably because I came from a military background.
Very structured. So yeah, that
they are very
structured.
That
basically shows you that, basically from what you come from, that's why that resonates with you, and that's why you like it, or that's why it seems appealing to you, based on like you growing up in a military structure.
That's what I'm saying. I grew up with both my parents are military, so like I did, I like them because they're very militant. Exactly. So I'm like, oh, okay. My daddy was a Black Panther.
So that's how come we got to be diligent on how we raise our kids then. Because if we raise our kids in certain ways, then that goes to show you that when you grow up, you'll start naturally liking certain things. So maybe we need, maybe that's like something good to know. You know what I mean? Maybe it's ways that we can go about, because there's no right way to parenting. No one got the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody think they got the remedy or the recipe, but
no one's got a remedy or recipe. Right. Like if I had kids, I would probably probably teach them in like Allah, because I grew up militant. Like, I grew up in that way. My father was a Black Panther, and I grew up, but I was Army brat, and both my parents was in the military. So I'm used to structure in that way. So I would probably go towards that. But somebody else who grew up differently will probably go towards something else. And maybe can get some structure from there. That's maybe more loose. I like structure. Everything around me have to be organized, and that's how I feel my comfort is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not everybody. We have to allow people to be individuals in the community, and stop saying that somebody is not Black because they don't believe in whatever the hell you believe in at the particular time. And that's what I see what's going on in the community. You will sell out if you don't believe in whatever doctrine, the latest doctrine or whatever. D. Ben Israel said, you can't go wrong with the nation. They teach in the Quran, Torah, and the gospel. Yeah. No, I don't know the intensity of it. I just know that I like those brothers' teachings because, like, they're stand-up gentlemen, and they take care of their families. And they preach things that would help the Black community. And I'm pretty sure they're not the only ones that's doing it. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of what you call Israeli brothers. Israel? What are they called?
Who? What brothers?
I don't.
Who? What brothers are you talking about?
The Israeli. I don't know. They wear
The Hebrew?
Power
The
Ranger
Hebrew Israelites?
outfits or whatever they are.
The Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, them. Yeah,
Hebrew.
them. I'm pretty sure that they.
The Hebrew Israelites, you know what I mean? That'd be the guys on the corner with the stuff on, yeah, with the outfits on, yeah, that'd be them. I got some footage. I'm gonna upload it too. You know what I mean? I think
Is
everybody.
somebody else on the chat and I don't see?
I think everybody got their own message. You know what I mean? But when it comes to certain stuff, I understand like sometimes in the Bible and or different things when they go and at the Hebrews, it's a lot of things that they try to get at, like the strictness of certain things with like the women and stuff. And I understand certain things, and certain things have relevance to it. Certain things do have relevance to it, but it don't take away from the Bible itself and what the Bible means. We do know that the Bible did go through many conversions, and besides conversions, we also know that the Nicaea Council did happen, and a council was put together to decide which books happened and which books picked to go in the Bible. So we also know that people structured it and put it together as well, so we can understand that. So yeah, but when we just use our common sense, we'll just use our common sense. You know what I mean? And some things is in the past. You know what I mean? Is in the past. We cannot live today. That's why when we was talking earlier today, like what something that CC said, we can't, some of the older principles and some things we can't use that as of old. Something we have to move forward and update today. You know what I'm saying? Because some things may not be right. That's like they say, if you was a fool to the fool, they push them off a cliff. That's some shit. You know what I'm saying? Right now, like damn, so a nigga fool, you pushing a nigga off a cliff. How much fools we meet every goddamn day? Damn, so that'd
Well,
be
yeah. When they when
be a
you
lot.
was a fool or you were disformed or whatever, they threw your ass off a cliff.
That's what I'm saying. There'd be a lot of motherfucking fools on the cliff right now. All the fools you meet just walking to the goddamn thing, they can all goddamn go. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like, hey, you know what I mean? So it's a lot, you know what I mean? It's a lot. But my mindset is always stuck on why do we need the need for the Messiah construct? Why do we need someone to be a savior?
Man,
Why do we need someone to be a savior? We are our own saviors. We have to start understanding that we have to go within ourselves to understand anything about ourselves. We got to
that's
forget
right.
overstanding and understanding. We need inner standing. We need to understand ourselves, and that's how we're going to understand who we are. And then when we begin to go into our past the past,
Individually, like
yeah,
we can't keep on like trying to brand all Black people as one thing,
yes,
because I personally researched my own history. I know what I am personally. I know what slave master had my ancestors. His name is James Martin. I know exactly what bloodline I come from. Like
hmm,
we legit have to find it out for ourselves and stop trying to look to these doctrines to do the work for us. That's what it seems like to me.
yeah.
We look to these doctrines to do the work for us that we should be doing for ourselves. Hello?
Mm-mm-mm. D could pull up, man. What happened? My link ain't in the chat. Let me put this link back in this chat.
I don't know. I
I
don't
have
even see nobody else in the chat. Honestly, like maybe
they in there.
um
I drop it in there though, just in case. I don't know. We in here rocking. In here rocking. You know what I'm saying? Right now you got Beantown in New York, and Beantown in New York got beef. People from Boston don't like people from.
I'm not from Boston originally. I just live here. I don't even like the people here like that.
I get you that, but it ain't matter where you from. Sometimes it's where you at too. So even if where you at, people that you talk to that be from there be like, what? Fuck that motherfucker. That's what
Oh
I'm
no,
saying.
sir. I actually like New York men
You never met
way
no people
better.
from Boston that feel that way? You never met
Pardon?
nobody from Boston that feel that way about New York?
Pardon?
You never met no people from Boston that feel like that about people from New York City.
No. What I feel about Boston, I think they weird.
But no, have you met any people that's from Boston that be like, yo, you know, New York, that talk
I
bad
know.
about?
I know y'all have a beef.
But did you ever meet people like that? That tell you that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I have. I mean, I'm a bartender by trade.
Okay. Oh, so you heard it all then? Don't act like you heard it all. Yeah, you hear that shit on the frequent, especially around sports time. You hear that?
Yeah, around sports time. Oh, baby,
All of
don't let the Yankees and the and what the Red
that.
Sox play.
Okay, so yeah.
So
So you know, it's
yeah,
like you said, beef.
I know what it's like. I just don't like the people here because I'm not from here.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool though. You
I'm
know what
from
I'm
the
saying?
Midwest.
You supposed to have been in New York. You moved to the wrong city. You're supposed
I
to move
know,
to New York
probably.
City. Man. When New York City's lit. You know what I mean? When you come from anywhere in the world, you want to come to New York. So I'm from New
No,
York.
even my homegirls that's here was like, you probably should have went to New York.
I go to New York. New York is turned. New York is lit. Turn. It said, I teach out of the Ethiopia. It is the change that comes from
No,
Ethiopia.
it's because of my
But Ben
personality.
Israel, I
It's
like how
because
you
like
thinking, brother.
they
You need to Ben Israel needs to talk to me too, brother.
pardon.
Now D Ben Israel. I was saying that yeah, man, sound like he got some good knowledge and wisdom, man. It's pretty dope, man. Email me too, brother. Put my email in the chat, man. Send me an
Uh,
email. Maybe one of these days you could come up and talk. That's what it's all about. It's all about us talking. Even if you don't talk now, you could probably set up a little show where you might want to come on and teach the people whatever you want to teach and talk about that. If you want to talk about the Ethiopic Bible or whatever you want to talk about, I'm into all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I would like
into
to learn more about
all that stuff.
their doctrine. To be honest, I would like to learn more.
I started reading as a young person. I started reading all ways of life, all kinds, everything. I started reading because I just wanted to understand everything. So I have a knowledge in a lot of different areas. You know what I'm saying? Some areas are stronger than others,
One
but
thing
I
I
mean,
do, I grew up in the church, so I know the Bible explicitly, like from
mm,
front to back.
yeah, I know the Bible too, like that.
I know the Bible explicitly.
Had a lot of things still got to be refreshed in my mind, but I did read the Bible. I read the Bible, but I do know more of it and breaking down certain stuff. I did, especially
My
after.
favorite book of the Bible is the book of James, especially when they said bad morals corrupt good habits. That's in the book of James.
Mhm.
I always loved the book of James. I love the practical books. I loved the Proverbs.
That's
I love some
my
of the
book right there.
Psalms, but I love the Proverbs more. The book of James. I love like the Corinthians 1, 2, and 3. There's a lot of books of the Bible that I actually really loved and studied a whole lot because I had to read it because my mother was a minister, honestly, when I was growing up. After she got off drugs,
Mhm.
she got into the church. And I had to be involved in the church, and we had to take a class for this particular church. And I had to
That's
study
cool.
it and go through Sunday school and all that and know exactly what the Bible was and all that. It was an awesome experience. Like now that I think back on it was an awesome experience to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually looked at the Quran. I haven't studied the Quran as much as I should.
Yeah, but it's
I
just
always wanted to though.
things is together, and just understanding that it's all about oneness. It's all about trying to be a better person. You know what I mean? Things like that. So like all
Yeah.
the things don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? All the other things don't really matter.
No, I'm hip. I just like other doctrines, what
Mhm.
other people
That's a beautiful, that's a beautiful.
love, so I can be at least educated on it, so I can talk to them. That's what my thing is. I want to learn everything. I'm a person that loves to learn everything.
That's good.
It it don't matter what it is.
I
I
got a
love
couple
to
of
learn
good
it.
books for you to read too. Trust me, I keep you busy. I got a couple of good books.
You say you'll keep me busy. Hey.
Give you a good. He's crazy. Nah, I got good books that you can read. I mean, like real good stuff that we gotta apply. Because everything in about reading sometimes too. Because sometimes you'll read something else, and when you read and you really taking another person's perception of something. So that, you know what I'm saying? A person could sometimes corrupt your goddamn brain by just reading a goddamn book. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you can. Yeah, people's perception of things. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure enough.
They change your mind. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not as good to read as much as you think sometimes, you know? But it's got
My
to be very
pastor.
careful about what you read and sometimes because
The reason why I got into the Bible is because my pastor brought out the Torah and he interpreted the Bible from the Jewish Bible.
from Hebrew, yeah.
It,
That's why I
and,
started learning
and
Hebrew.
he said if it, yeah, he interpreted from the Hebrew Bible. And he
Yeah.
was like, challenge me and look it up for yourself. And he was a pastor that, we gave donations and he gave us back W-4s.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He was not one of them. He really wanted to, and he was a guy that was about to marry me. He was my godfather and all. That was my pastor, and he encouraged the Quran. He was like, I like the Quran. My Christian pastor loved the Quran too.
Wow.
He was like, learn all of the doctrine and learn all of what God has to offer you, because God ain't just in Christianity; it's in Allah too. Like he was one of them type of people. He was also a Virgo. I just have to say.
Yeah, you shout out to your brother.
My pastor was a shit. Pastor Charles.
Pastor Charles, man. Shout out to Pastor Charles, man. It definitely is a G, Pastor Charles.
We just wanted people to get the proper information. And he was a lover of people. And I am a lover of people. I will give you the shirt off my back while I'm walking. I'm that type of person. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to communicate with people who have the same ideology as me or similar.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this community?
Mm-hmm.
Most of my brothers don't deal with the Quran, but I love it. I've always studied both. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I study all of them too, man. It's good to just be well versed, man. You got to be knowledgeable in different stuff, man. Like, you know what I mean? I read, and all type of things, man. I
I
might
had to
know.
study my whole life the Bible. I ended up studying the Quran at one point in time because I just wanted to see a different way of things. I I do yoga. I think what Buddha is cool as hell. Their doctrine, like, you know what I'm saying? They all have the same message, to be honest.
I did that too at one point.
I think it was Andy Griffith saying they all had the same message, but did you get the message?
That's what it's all about. It's all about the message. That's why we got to be building. Figuring out how the fuck we light everybody up. Get everybody lit. You know, if you get everybody lit, then you know, gotta work out. I think we be alright. Oh yeah, we be alright.
What are you doing? You got your hat?
My top hat.
You say you got a lot of hats. How many hats you got?
I don't know. You know what I mean? That's like my style too. You know, I dress like that even while I was selling drugs. I dress like that. So you know, actually helped me and benefited
I'm gonna have
me.
to come up. I'm gonna have to come up there. You know, it's only 3 hours for me to come up there, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm gonna have to come up there and see in your hat.
Yeah, you know, I'm in the town, man. New York City, man, the best
You
city.
said what?
You know, I'm in the town, man, the best city in the world. New York
And
City.
what area
All
New
the
York are
time.
you?
I'm from Brooklyn. I said,
Oh, Brooklyn.
BK all day.
Where Brooklyn? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn?
BK all day. I'm in the town, man. Staying out the way. That's what I'm doing.
Staying out the way. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll bring my ass up there.
Yes, it's open back up and different things.
Huh?
I said, especially since it's opening back up and stuff. Everything's been cool. It's been good, you know. There's just been a lot of stuff going on, like in the Bronx. But for the most part, in New York, it's been cool, man. Some people are like, nah, man, it's too crazy out there, son. I can't come out there. You bugging. Like, it don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? People be thinking like it'd be crazy like that. It
I'm a
don't.
city person. Like I was raised in the Chicago area and in Chicago,
What part of Chicago? Like where?
South Side, 119th in Calumet, Michigan, 119th in Michigan. I'm from the way hundreds.
Man, so that shit was crazy out that motherfucker too, right? Who's somebody like was from like around, like any artist or somebody like that, some young people that rap or something like that. From like what, like in your region, not probably from your specific part where you was at, but maybe somebody that's like familiar to some people. Like, I don't know. Because Chicago is a wide place and there's many people that come from different sides. And then some sides change just by a matter of like a block, and then you're like in a whole nother area. And it's like, that shit is different out there, right? Somebody was trying to explain Chicago to me one day, and I was like, damn,
Like, dude, that shit is crazy.
that
I
shit is
went through a
serious.
drive-by. I went through a drive-by in Chicago before. I
Damn,
was sitting in the back of a car, and somebody came and aired our car out.
damn. Serious?
They're serious. And when I called my cousins, one of my boy cousins had to come walk me because I didn't get killed. And one of my boy cousins had to come walk me with a gun back to our house. That's how crazy Chicago is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was normal. When I called my cousins, they were like, "Oh, girl, I remember the first time when I got into my first drive-by."
That's crazy, yo. That's crazy.
So that's where I come
Not
from.
that crazy that I'm saying that it's crazy because I'm coming from a street life where that's not really crazy.
Yeah, you're a street
I'm really
life person too.
desensitized.
So, like, but Chicago is as crazy as what the hell they said it is.
So I'm saying, so I'm just saying that's crazy what I'm saying. Like that's just like what I'm saying, but it's really not that crazy to me because I'm coming from a place where, you know what I mean, I'm desensitized to some things sometimes. From seeing things and living things and being through certain stuff, sometimes you become desensitized to things. Like you might meet a killer and a person's a straight murderer, but you know what I mean? It's just like, oh yeah, he's a murderer, whatever.
That's
You
why
know what I'm
people
saying?
look
So it's
at
not
me.
like, damn, he's a murderer, but you see the person saying, yeah, he's a murderer. Or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
People look at me and you see me, right?
Mhm.
People look at me. I'm an ex-drug dealer. Like, nobody would ever even think of, especially how I speak and everything like that. We learned how we from the crack era. We learned how to cook dope, cook crack when we was like 14, 15 years old.
Mhm. Yeah. From the beginning of the damn thing, man. That's what I'm saying, man. But this shit is so crazy is that Chicago is just like this now, man. But that shit was one of our leading cities, you know what I mean? Of black people and all of that, like especially post slavery and stuff like that. Chicago was that city that was on that rise. You know what I'm saying? Like man, people was out there. And
One
you
thing
know,
it was segregated. One thing that what I liked about Chicago, we didn't let white folk run through our neighborhood at all.
yeah, it was real. You know what I'm saying? They had a different thing going on in Chicago in the back in the, you know what I mean? Back in the times. It was a different vibe. And to see like right now, people like, what? People wouldn't even go to Chicago. People wouldn't even go there. It's not like some place that you would visit. You know, so many things to go see. You could go and see Michael Jordan's statue by the
No, it's a
Bulls,
beautiful city. It is a
by the
beautiful city
Bulls and
if
all
you
that.
go downtown and all that kind of stuff. But it can.
Mad people don't even go. You know what I'm saying? You don't even think about going. That's not one of the places that you would think about wanting to just go. You be like, Chicago? Shit might go down. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy that you just think about the whole place like that when that whole place is not like that.
No, wait a minute. No, it is like that.
The whole
I
entire
can't.
place?
I can't. No, it's not the entire city, but
That's what
no.
I'm saying. But the way they make it seem is
When
like
you're
the
black,
whole
okay, you're
city.
black. Chicago is the most segregated city in the United States. If you didn't know.
No, I didn't know. Tell me. What you mean? Like
Yeah.
what?
So Chicago is the most segregated city in the United States.
Segregated in which way? What you mean?
Where black people live in a certain area and white people live in a certain area, it's segregated. So even if a white woman come walking around our neighborhood, the police gonna say something. Hey, what you doing over here? Hey, no, you got to get the fuck out. What you tricking? What you tricking? You must be smoking dope. Like that's how Chicago is.
Mm-hmm.
They leave crates of guns outside on the street in Chicago. For they robbing the freight train and they leave. We don't know who leave them crates of guns, but they leave them out there. Chicago rough. Like you can't even like park normally into a parking space. You got to bag into it because you probably gonna have to skirt out the parking lot. I hate they name it the Chirac though. Chicago's violent. Very, 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 very violent. They're not lying on Chicago. So we come from a different cloth. Like going out into the world and everything like that, because we done seen everything when we was kids. So I honestly think Chicago's more rough than New York. Hello? Are you still here? Did you go to sleep? That's a trick. They want to keep us away. The Shad is the home of the revolution. I agree. One community, are you here still, sir? Maybe I need to drop off. D Ben Israel, can you come up?
He hit the link, right? He said he was in the link.
Oh, you here?
I was muted.
Who? Is it D Ben Israel?
That was D Ben. He said he was coming, but
You said what?
I said D Ben was saying that he's gonna hit the link. Probably on another time he said that he was gonna hit the link. He probably hit it on another time, I guess. But like I said though, the platform extends.
That's what, like, where the hell you went? Like
I was right there. I don't know. I guess my thing probably was muted or something. You know, Restream was bugging even earlier today and knocked off the chat. So Restream been doing a lot of weird things, man. But I do want to tell everybody, I appreciate everybody. Make sure you're subscribing to Kemmunity. Make sure you're subscribing to One Community too. I'm on the line right now. It's me, MS Embassy. She's going to create her YouTube channels, different things like that. So you will see this queen displaying her colors, talking about the different things that she want to talk about, especially a lot of good things. We're helping young women, not just women, but young people, period, because that's who I think really needs to help, especially, you know what I mean, are our children. So I think that she's going to be able to bring a lot of light, you know, to some situations that we can learn from. So y'all do make sure y'all stay tuned to that. I'm gonna help her with anything that she needs on YouTube, and
Oh, thank
hopefully
you.
y'all can be helpful too as well. And y'all help her the same way once you get it. You know what I mean? And so we do in the community. We support everybody. Y'all subscribe when they start going live. When she going live, you know what I'm saying? Let's support each other, man. That's all it takes. You know what I mean?
He said that's a trick. They want to keep us away from the shack. It's the home of the revolution. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it is the home of the revolution, but majority of the people from the shack come from Mississippi.
That's a whole entire fact, man. That's a whole entire fact. But that's what it is, man. Everybody stay positive, stay blessed. This is how we gonna do it. This is how we gonna do it.
You falling asleep, baby?
Nah, do you want to tell them something before I click this? Before I click this thing up, what do you
What?
want to tell the people? Is there something that you want to tell these people before I end this?
Okay.
What do you
All I
want
want to say is, um, please learn for yourself.
to
Um, when you go in front of these people that said that they are conscious, since we are speaking about Brother Polite or whomever, or the young pharaohs or whoever the hell they are, um, just make sure you do your due diligence and research the people and have common sense. You know, like because it just seems like that's lacking common sense because people say so much and use a whole lot of words to masquerade behind fallacies or things of that nature. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad that a whole lot of, I didn't know that people were such followers as these. And it amazes me that they are. But you literally have to look up these people. I have to look up, the person that I'm on the panel on
Mm-hmm.
and see if he's legit. Like you have to,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to see who you're following
Yes. Yes. I agree.
before you jump out the window and be like, oh, I'm a supporter. Who at the pen? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's imperative for you to do so. And education, at least get your high school education and college education so you can compete in the world. Like, or trade, or at least a trade if you don't go to college. But you at least have to graduate from high school and get some type of certification in something that you can make some money off of. Stop letting these people think that it's some kind of trick way out of it, you know.
Ain't no easy ways out, man. We got to do the knowledge. We got to do the history. We got to learn ourselves, learn our past, because the only way we're going to know our present situation or the future is by really, really learning our past, not by being cliche and for me to say that. But systems are based on systems. So ancient civilizations are built on top of civilizations. So even the systems that we find ourselves in, be it governmental systems, they're based on past systems, ancient systems before, and ways of getting it better. The ancient system, after each one, always thinks about how do I make it better? How do we do things better than the last? So this is where we're at now. So to understand anything that's happening now, or even things that's in the future, all we really have to do is just study our past and just got to know is, one love. Yeah, 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 yeah. One